guys, so here is part 3 of our Married with Clix unboxing series, where we go and take an individual look at each of the pieces that we pulled in our unboxing and talk about where they fit in the constructed game, or whether they're going to be strictly sealed or strictly casual figures. So we're going to dive into what we got in the break and see you guys on the flip side.
Right, away we go. Figure number 001, Isaiah Bradley, past and soldier keywords. He's got this living legend trait. This is not going to be the last time you see this, but should be the last time I have to describe it. The first time each game Isaiah Bradley would be KO'd, instead turn him to his last non-KO click and then roll a d6. Heal him equal to half the result, protected pulse wave. So if he dies, you heal him instead of KOing him. Just a little bit, between like 1 and 3. Clicks. He's got a special defense power, the other Captain America, defend and toughness. He's got 0 range. He's indomitable. He has 60 points. For a 60-point common, this is pretty good. We'll make up those historic past soldier teams that you're looking for in casual play. A pretty good, solid beat stick for sealed play. Not going to be making waves in the competitive market, but that's cool. He's still a very cool figure all around. All right. Next, we have Iron Man, Avengers, Stark Industries, Armor and Scientist keywords. Shifting focus, I am Iron Man. There's one more we'll talk about later. Free if Iron Man began your turn on the map. Replace him with another character with this trait. The Assembles Avengers, this is on multiple characters as well, in the form of Avengers or Masters of Evil and Thunderbolts. So prepare for that. Assembled Avengers, once per turn when Iron Man hits, after resolutions you may roll a d6 on a 5 to 6. If your force has 3 or more Avengers characters with the Avengers keyword, remove an action token from Iron Man or give an action token to a hit target. If your force has 6 or more, do both. And this other one, variable weapon system, free, choose a standard attack power printed on this on the card of a character with the shifting focus I am Iron Man trait on your sideline. Iron Man can choose chosen power this turn. And he's got 5 range, indomitable, flies, and he's got some pretty close combat focused. What you're going to see is Iron Men who focus on different things. So on his own, he's a beat stick, but for 75 points, if you don't have anything to put on your sideline, probably not going to make much in the wave of sealed. But the entire Iron Man package is Shifting Focus has made Shifting Focus has made points in the competitive game, though briefly in some cases. It will go some distance on certain teams, so keep your eyes open for that. And we'll talk about that more in depth with the next Shifting Focus Iron Man later on. All right, so Citizen V's got the lid. This is John Watkins III. V Battalion Soldier keywords is figure number 3. He's got the Living Legend trait, and he's got this Peak Human Conditioning trait, which you'll see on other characters as well, which gives him sidestep and toughness. He's 55 points. This is what you see is what you get with some willpower to start. So he's not indomitable, but he does have willpower and some leadership. 55-point leadership will fill out your SEAL teams for sure. V Battalion Soldier, so if you're making that V Battalion team, not a bad add-on, but ultimately not going to be making the competitive waves. Perfectly fine for casual play. All right, next up, the Shield Agent. Shield Soldier Spy. What's my assignment? Free. Choose an adjacent friendly character with a shield keyword and a standard speed power that character can use except hypersonic. Shield Agent can use the chosen power until your next turn. He's got the Espionage trait. You're going to see that on other characters, which gives him stealth, ignores hindering for line of fire, and for movement. He's got the ICER, which is incapacitate with 2 targets, which he has on this dial. I believe you just pick the dial with this character and go nuts with it. So that's a Shield Agent. It's an include on your last 15 points of a SEAL team. If you're making those shield teams with swarms of dudes, it's going to be great. And ultimately, it's one of those things like it's the last 15 points you put on a team sometimes, and it's not going to be taking points away from it. All right. Shield Officer was against Shield Soldier Spy, Espionage trait. Got your back as the next trait. Once per turn, when an adjacent friendly character with a shield keyword moves, after resolutions, you may place Shield Officer adjacent to that character. So it's like free movement if somebody else moves, which could in some cases be a full-blown like full move shoot or full move make a close attack in some cases, and that can go a long way, especially with the empower with the enhancement that he has. So if he wants to be next to somebody, he'll definitely be helping that go. So Sealed and shield include. Casual play, fine. There might be a place for him in competitive, but it's not like immediate must-have right now. It's going to be some kind of combination that involves him. Luckily, there's not a whole lot of call-ins for 30 points, but he could still call in a Colossal Iceman if you can make that sing the way you want it to sing. All right, next up we have Sharon Carter. Avengers, shield, politician, spy, espionage trait. Best part of my day is her next trait. Leadership. If Sharon Carter is adjacent to a friendly character named Captain America or Steve Rogers, she and those characters increase the result of their leadership rolls, or either D6 rolls for leadership by +1, if not already increased by a trait with this name. And then she's got special damage power, so you can only do it the one time. Stand by for updates. Perplex. When Sharon Carter uses it to target another friendly character shield keyword, that character can use Outwit until your next turn, making shield a little better. 35 points for 3 clicks with traded leadership. If you're playing an Avengers or shield team, she'll help. I don't think on the competitive market she's got a whole lot of stock, but she's just really good. So Avengers teams can make effective use of Sharon Carter. All right, next up, we have Nick Fury, Howling Commandos, Shield, Secret Warriors, Politician, Soldier, Spy keywords. Espionage trait, Director of Shield, Leadership. When Nick Fury uses leadership and succeeds instead of normal effect, you may generate a figure number 4, a Shield agent, which we talked about earlier, onto an adjacent square into an adjacent square or a square of hindering terrain within range and line of fire. That's actually pretty cool, making little shield soldiers. Life model decoys is special defense power. Stop Mastermind when this click is first revealed. After resolutions, roll D6. Place Nick Fury up to that many squares away from his current square. So ultimately, this is a cool Nick Fury that can really fight in ranged combat. If you watched my sealed video, I definitely hemmed and hawed and considered using him. Not a bad sealed include, a really solid shield must include. Overall, really cool Nick Fury, and I love the idea of making dudes by making leadership roles. You'll probably see me playing Nick Fury at some point with some kind of nonsense. Hey man, that's pauper legal. Cool. All right. Next up, Maria Hill. Shield, politician, soldier, spy, espionage trait. Welcome to Pleasant Hill is her movement power, mind control once per turn. When a friendly character uses mind control to target a character that has been damaged this turn, after resolutions, that targeted character can't make attacks or be attacked until your next turn, unless it's the only character on its force. Then she's got leadership and shape change to boot. 45 points. Again, a shield add-on to just make your shield teams better. If you're running mind control with some of the keywords that she has, could really make your mind control super potent. But ultimately, like not singing the praises overall, but pretty good Maria Hill overall. All right, next up, Peggy Carter. Howling Commandos, Shield, Pass, Soldier, Spy, Espionage trait. I got away with it because no one looks at me. Sidestep characters can't draw a line of fire to Peggy Carter unless she is adjacent to another character. At the beginning of your turn, you may deal Peggy Carter 1 unavoidable damage. I believe this is a 40-point character. So that first click is unassuming, and then you can, at the beginning of your turn, deal 1 damage. Boom. But before that one, you can't draw a line of fire to her on the first one unless she's adjacent to somebody, and then she can pop that second click out when she needs it. Awesome sealed, awesome shield. Sealed and shield, it's just rolling off the tongue. Very good for like your casual play sort of character. Maybe later in the competitive market, but not an immediate include. All right, next up, Quake. Avengers, Inhumans, Shield, Secret Warriors, and Spy. Assembled Avengers and Espionage trait. Pinpoint earthquakes or just earthquakes. Quake, when Quake uses... So, this power gives her Quake, and when Quake uses it, you may choose one. Choose an unoccupied square within her range, and she may use Quake as if she occupied that square, or Quake can use Giant Reach X, where X is her click number. So, to explain, with this, She may use Quake as if she occupied that square within her range. So not necessarily on fire. So you have Quake here. She's got a 5 range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Geez, I don't have a 5 range on the map right now. But the idea is you can go up to like here and then consider or say I occupy this square for the Quake, and then if there's like 3 targets here, she'll hit them. So for instance, I have these guys here. Let's just, for example's sake, Quake from here can say I'm going to Quake from here or here, and it'll target all of these guys. Or she can say if she's on click, now she's on click 1. I think does she have that power? She has this power for a good portion of her dial. So now we're on click 5. And we can say, I have Giant Reach 5, which will oh, okay, I'm doing obsessing here. So, and now I got Giant Reach 3. I can actually target all of these dudes here as such. So, that's kind of the idea behind her. Nice visuals for you. So overall, that's a really cool Quake power that you can get a lot of effectiveness out of in sealed and in some degrees of constructed, especially those lower common, popper, and everyman formats. So keep your eyes open on Quake. All right, next up we have the Industrial Spy. AIM, Hammer Industries, Hydra Spy keywords. Espionage is the trait. And then he's got a special damage power. Stolen access to all of Stark's best tech. Outwit. When Industrial Spy uses it and chooses only standard powers, he can use the chosen powers until the next turn. If the target has the armor, robot, Hammer Industries, Stark Industries, or vehicle keywords, Industrial Spy can use 2 powers instead. Choose 2 powers. So you can outwit somebody and then say, hey, that was a nice power, but I'm going to use it instead, if you don't mind. Cool. 30 points with 3 clicks. He's only got 1 click of that. I mean, sealed, sure. The fact that he's got stealth helps, but stealth in this set and sealed, we've talked about enough guys with espionage. Espionage stops espionage. It's kind of funny how that works. And then, I mean, it's outwit for 30 points. Nothing wrong with that. Good collection of keywords if Hydra starts to make its way around again. All right, next up, we have the Nuke Clone. Power, Elite, and Soldier keyword. First, it's the Burnout Virus. When Nuke Clone is KO'd by an attack or by the effects of a trait with this name, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to each character within 3 squares. At the end of your turn, for all characters with this trait, roll d6. Deal a friendly character named Nuke Clone an unavoidable damage. So basically ticking time bombs, these guys. And they got this Power Elite trait, which you'll see on other things. The power actions of opposing characters within X squares are double power actions instead. X is the number of friendly characters with the Power Elite keyword with different names. And 20 points get you 4 clicks with the Underworld team ability. So he can do some carrying. Did I miss that on anything? No, but there's a lot of shield and wild cards I missed. That's another addition of the this guy has a wild card, so he could, if this guy is on the same team as Nuke Clone, then they're both Underworld guys. So food for thought. He's just okay. He's going to be on those Power Elite teams that where you're trying to make a nuke ticking time bomb team out of. People are going to accumulate a few of them just for the occasional fun game. All right, next up, Happy Hogan. Avengers, Stark Industries. I'm the driver is his trait. Passenger 2 and may carry characters with the flight symbol. When a friendly character named Iron Man is given a move action and carries Happy Hogan, after resolutions, you may give Happy Hogan an action token to remove an action token from that Iron Man. So, we're going to go through this here. Iron Man carries Happy Hogan. And then, well, you know what? And then Iron Man would take the action token immediately upon resolution. But then Happy Hogan says, no, I'm going to take an action token instead. And now Iron Man loses his action token. So, yeah, I'm already on the bowl with candy there, guys. So, that's kind of the neat effect. If you are using an Iron Man, Happy Hogan can be a pretty solid include because Iron Man getting out there with no action token can really lead to 2 turns of possible awesome. He doesn't do much otherwise, so he's really just there to either carry or be carried by Iron Man. And like here's another thought. Let's say we have this same Iron Man who carries Happy Hogan for a charge. After his charge resolves, he's got the action token. Then Happy Hogan says, I'm going to take an action token. Iron Man loses an action token. So it's all part of being carried by Iron Man, and that description I just made is super potent. Getting a full action that involved a carry like that. All right, next up, Power Man. A lot of people in our comments were really looking forward to seeing this dial. Emissaries of Evil, Lethal Legion, and Masters of Evil keywords. You got the assembled bolts and masters, so this works is the same way as the Avengers assembled Avengers, but it instead of using the Avengers keyword, it uses Masters of Evil or Thunderbolts. He's got a special trait, Indestructible Ionic Energy. Power Man takes a maximum of 1 damage from the first attack that hits him each turn. So, and it doesn't matter if it's penetrating or not. He'll take 1 damage from the first attack. He doesn't reduce it. He just replaces the damage he's about to take. Now, that does come with Impervious to start with the Masters of Evil team ability. He's not indomitable, but he's 65 points. This is a character that if your opponents don't focus fire is going to be a pain in the butt to kill because they'll throw 1 shot at him, he eats it, whatever. But if they focus fire, he's going to feel like crap. But do remember, if they do focus fire him, they focus fired on a 65-point character. But just generally, he's going to work in sealed because something that's hard to kill will get ignored, and he does a ton of damage. With an 11 attack, 4 damage with super strength on the first click. With 4 range, but and then it tapers down to 3 and then 2, but the 2 has close combat expert, and these 2 attacks at 10 with 3 damage do come with super strength. So you can make use of this guy in sealed and as part of your casual Emissaries of Evil, Lethal Legion, or Masters of Evil's teams. Not going to splash the game per se. Also, you're not masterminding. Well, no. I think you are. I gotta double check. Anyway, Winter Soldier, Avengers, Hydra, Invaders, Shield, Thunderbolts, Assassin Soldier, Spy. He's got the ability to shoot out of base or into base, assemble bolts and masters, espionage trait. Then he's got special damage power, efficient and ruthless application of force, which gives him close combat expert and ranged combat expert. The only sad part is that is not on click 1. But he's a 6-range running shot with espionage with the wildcard team ability. So then there's a lot of team abilities in this set. He is a potential sealed play for sure. Going to be part of some of those Avengers theme teams, some Shield teams, some Thunderbolts teams. Thunderbolts, never underestimate them. Whenever you play against a Thunderbolts team, they always catch you off guard with how ridiculously good they are. He's just like one of those really good, okay characters. Probably has more of those low common tournament futures in front of him, like the Popper or the Everyman format. All right, next up, Singularity. Avengers, Battle World, Other, and Cosmic keywords, assembled Avengers trait, and then a what you see is what you get dial that comes with Power Cosmic on 100 points with some probability control. This is probably going to see more sealed play than anything. This is a cool 100-point character. I might also see some low range Popper and Everyman format play, but not going to be making a splash in competitive necessarily. All right, next up, Sidewinder. Super Society, Ruler, and Spy keywords. Engineer of the Sneak Attack. Phasing Teleport. When Sidewinder uses it, he can use Passenger 5, but only to carry characters with a Serpent Society keyword. And if he moves 5 squares or less after resolution, Sidewinder or a character he carried may make a close attack. That's kind of a cool thing. Mastermind and Willpower as a special defense power on his first 2 clicks with some leadership. So this is that leadership piece that's being added to the Serpent Society, which exists in a few sets. This guy's going to make you want to play the Serpent Society in your casual games, and he's going to make you consider certain options in the Serpent Society in some maybe trying to make him work. People will try to make him work for Serpent Society. We'll try to make the Serpent Society with him. I don't think ultimately it'll yield much, but I think it's still like a fun piece to get that Serpent Society going on your fun little casual games. When I say fun little, that sounded kind of demeaning. I do enjoy casual play myself, play at the kitchen table quite a bit. All right. Next, Captain America, Avengers and Soldiers keyword, living legend trait. The first time each game this is not Captain America, this is the Captain. The Captain would be KO. Oh, it's just a living legend trait. We've already seen that. But it's here. I can represent the American dream without being a government agent at the beginning of the game. Choose one to last the game. Captain loses soldier keyword and gains a Marvel team ability of your choice that isn't uncopyable. Or the Captain can't have his combat values modified by other characters and can't have his attack rolls re-rolled. Very cool. Well, for 45 points with this style, sure. He's just okay. It could really be a pain in the butt to kill with that living legend trait. Put more work into him than necessary in a lot of cases. I'm a fan. I like him. I would play him. I'm going to give him a try in a couple teams and see how they go. All right. We continue with the final piece that we have, but not necessarily the final piece for the shifting focus in general. Iron Man, the uncommon Avengers, Stark Industry, Armor, and Scientist keyword. He's got the shifting focus trait. He's got the assembled weapon Avengers trait. And he's got the variable weapon system trait. So the full package with a running shot package at 7 range, 2 targets, indomitable. So this one, with our close combat one, gives us a lot of power options that we can really make fundamental use of. And now, granted, a lot of these don't necessarily mesh here, but in a nutshell, if you kind of need something to happen in either of these dials, make it happen. For instance, this one has some late dial TK. And if one of the other ones is something that you want to be TKing with instead, or telekinesis rather, use that. That's kind of the situation you're presented with. It's up to you. I think if you can pull to both of them, which is not necessarily impossible, they could be very bomby in your SEAL teams. Sorry, but just in general, I like this Iron Man a lot, and I say go for it. And let's experiment with some of the shifting focus stuff again. I know I'm going to, because I love shifting focus. Every time I get a chance, I will do it. All right, next up, Roz Solomon. Asgardian shield, Wakanda scientist and spy. Can shoot out of base as the espionage trait, vibrating bullets. When Roz Solomon makes a range attack, her target's defense values can't be positively modified. A special movement power, which gives her phasing teleport once per game. When Roz Solomon uses it, she may carry an opposing character, which is on the last 2 clicks there. The Psychic Blast, when combined with the ability to say you can't use Energy Shield, could go a long way. Adds to your shield team. This is a character I think is kind of tricksy and will catch people off guard if unready for what she does. So Roz Solomon, pretty solid sealed or shield include. Not kind of singing much for competitive play. All right, next we have Dario Agger. Aim, Hydra, Monster, Mystical, Politician, Ruler. He's got a plus 25 points here. Shape change. If Dario Agger would be KO'd, instead replace him with the Minotaur on its, or with figure number 27 Minotaur on its last non-KO click, then roll a d6 and heal him equal to the result, half the result. We didn't get the Minotaur, sorry, but I think it's been previewed in the past. An endless supply of resources. Outwit, probability control. Opposing characters within 5 squares can't use team abilities. Now, this is a recent discovery I made. Mystical has kind of lost its massive access to probability control lately, at least on a lower point value. So Dario Agger actually kind of adds to that with a 50-point character that has the probability control, as well as outwit, and anybody within 5 squares, any opposing characters within 5 squares of him can't use team abilities. It's a shame if he was to come within 5 squares of Singularity or anybody else. He does have stealth, so if you can, I think this guy's got some degree of support on mystical and monster teams that have a future, possibly on those ruler and politician teams that people have been talking about. So I'm going to say this guy could be seen, though I may be overvaluing him. I will say that much. All right. Next up, Nuke. Figure number 23. Aim, Hydra, Thunderbolts, Assassin, Soldier. Assembled Bolts and Masters. And then next is Dog Eat Dog for and Eye for an Eye. Free. Choose Nuke or an adjacent friendly character. Modify the chosen character's attack and damage by +1 at this turn. At the end of the turn, deal the chosen character 1 unavoidable damage. Special movement power gives him charge, flurry, plasticity. When Nuke or an adjacent friendly character KOs an opposing character after resolutions, heal Nuke 1 damage or 1 click. So there's a lot to unpack here. Every one of these clicks could potentially be +1 attack, +1 damage. That's cool. His late dial close combat is kind of counterproductive because he starts as a ranged combat character to start. But those are going to be the clicks where he's KOing guys adjacent to him, or people are going to be adjacent to him when they're KOing. When Nuke or an adjacent friendly character KOs an opposing character. Okay. So long and the short of it, I think this is a really good sealed bomb, though not probably making a ton of not making a ton of competitive play noise. This is a really strong casual play figure that also includes the Indomitable, so you can actually kind of take your own sort of push damage by just kind of pumping some stats. I like them. Just be careful with them. That's all. Just be careful. Play smart with them. All right. Next up, Dr. Faustus. Hydra, skeleton crew, and scientist keywords. He's figure number 24. Special movement power, manipulate Sharon to assassinate Captain America. Oh, he's got the Hydra team ability. Mind control, stealth. I didn't check if Nuke had a team ability. He didn't. Okay, cool. When Dr. Faustus uses mind control after resolutions, deal 2 penetrating damage to each character that he hit that KO'd another character's action. So if you can use your opponent's characters with a mind control to KO their characters, you can also deal 2 damage to those characters. You can tell that takes a fair bit of work and a fair bit of attention to pay. And this is on a 45.5 click dial with 5 range, 2 targets. So you can get it off on 2 characters. You do have shape change to start, and you do have Mastermind to kind of protect him. But this is an include for a certain type of player. So do pay attention to like, if you are that type of character player, be aware, be smart. Gonna be good with certain Hydra teams, though, for sure. I like him. I like that mind control is really good if you can pull it off. But mind control in general with multiple targets is actually pretty good. All right, next up. Aleksander Lukin, a man of 2 minds. During force construction, and this is for plus 10 points, you may include a character named Red Skull on your sideline. At the beginning of your turn, roll d6. On a 4 to 6, you may choose a standard power printed on Red Skull's card. Until your next turn, Aleksander Lukin can use the chosen power. If Aleksander Lukin would be KO'd by an opponent's attack, instead replace him with that Red Skull on his last KO click. That character can't be healed this game. And then he's got that next trait, Inheritance. Leadership. When determining theme teams, friendly characters named Winter Soldier don't count against theme teams. And then Power Elite, which we've seen. So this is a 4-click, 40-point Perplex and Leadership with the Underworld team ability with the Hydra Power Elite, Politician, and Ruler keywords. There's a place for him. It's a very supporty role, and it's a good support role. I do have to get another look at the Red Skull to make a full, accurate assessment on what you're going to get out of that. But who knows? It could be something worth doing. So I'm pretty okay with this character for at least casual as a good support. All right, next up. Trickshot. Dark Avengers, Thunderbolts, and Police keywords. Assembled Bolts and Masters trait. We know what that does. You can do better than that. This is cool. This is a special damage power. Once per turn, when a friendly character within 4 squares in line of fire would be hit by a range attack, you may roll 2d6 and add Trickshot's attack value. If your result is higher than the opponent's attack roll, the attack is evaded. That is, when you got a guy with a 12 attack who's capable of doing that, that is awesome. Now, unfortunately, you can't stop critical hits, but that's your 1 in, 36, I think is the results. 2 or 36, I don't know. It's not a very high opportunity of people making critical hits, but do note that this won't stop critical hits. It's a 50.5 click dial. This is a good character who will make Thunderbolts teams. But that said, he's made of marshmallows. This is the best way I could put it. If you hit him, he will hurt, and it will hurt a lot. But if you can keep him protected and keep your opponent, then if you can keep him protected, your characters will be protected as a result. So I think he's good. I'm looking into Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts always kind of has some neat tricks. Always never take your eyes off the Thunderbolts. All right, Zeke Stane, Hammer Industries, Hellfire Club, Power Elite, Armor, and Scientist keywords. Power Elite is that trait. And then the automated repulsor bolts is special movement power. When Zeke Stane has 2 action tokens, he has free mega range attack. Then he's got special defense power, energy shield, deflection, toughness, and willpower. He's also got special damage power on some of the Clix. Genius level intellect and efficient metabolism. Perplex, free roll a d6 on a 5 or 6, remove an action token. So that's kind of it's perplex and a self leadership, which he has on 2, 4, and 6. He's got prob intermittent in there. The special movement power he doesn't get until click 3. There's a lot to unpack here. He's cool. Everything he does is cool, but his lack of willpower just scares me. And he's got the Underworld team ability with the keywords that he's got. So, I'm going to definitely say he's. If you can get away, if we have an artificial way of giving him willpower, I think his stock goes up. But ultimately, I'm not super big on Zeke Stane. Cool character. I will include him in some casual games with Hammer Industries or Hellfire Club for sure. But that is what it is. All right, next up. Wasp, Avengers, Lady Liberators, Wakanda, Celebrity, Scientist, and Spy keywords, Avengers Assemble trait, Espionage trait. Then the Wasp size annoyance. Opposing characters within 5 squares can't use the improved targeting abilities. So here we go. You got the Espionage. Now you don't if you're too close to Wasp. She's 75 or 40 points with some leadership. She's tiny. She flies. Not making competitive splash, but a definite include in some really good Avengers, like local level monthly OP kit play, and good in sealed. I like this Wasp. She's really cool. I will just shut my mouth. All right, next up, Jolt. Thunderbolt Speedster keywords, Assemble Bolts and Masters trait, special movement power, can't sit still, which gives her flurry and sidestep. When Jolt uses sidestep after resolutions, roll d6. On a 4 to 6, Jolt can use sidestep at no cost. This can repeat. So if you can keep repeating 4, 5, or 6, 4, 5, or 6, 4, 5, or 6 with a sidestep, you could all of a sudden be in somebody's face with precision strike and flurry. It's a 25-point character. It's the last thing you include on your team. It's going to be part of your Thunderbolts team. You're going to laugh so hard if you pull off that multiple side steps. That's all I'm going to say. You are going to laugh harder than you've ever laughed in your life before. So why not throw her on? Now, her prime counterpart, on the other hand. Sorry. I'm leaning on characters now. I got to stop doing that. All right. Thunderbolts, Speedster, Jolt, Assemble Bolts and Masters trait, and then Hyperkinetic, Agility, and Bioelectric Manipulation. When Jolt moves 1 or more squares... Oh, sorry, guys. Ours is a little... We'll just hold that up like that. When Jolt moves 1 or more squares and hits 1 or more characters after resolutions, give her a kinetic token. If she has 1 or more kinetic tokens, she can use willpower. If she has 2 or more kinetic tokens, she can use energy explosion as free. If she has 4 kinetic tokens, she deals penetrating damage. And her stats are kind of just on the level of okay, but it's very, like, the first hit you gets your willpower. There's no real way you lose these kinetic tokens, so if you can start getting the hits, this is what we like to call a snowball character. If she starts to hit, she starts to get out of control. So yeah, pretty solid in your sealed or Thunderbolts teams. A little Speedster annoyance. It's not doing a ton of damage, but it's doing enough damage, I think, for 60 points. All right. Next up, Skin or Skein. Avengers of Evil, Thunderbolts, and Celebrity keywords. Assembled Bolts and Masters trait. Special attack power. Unravel your soft defenses. Incapacitate. When Skein uses it, opposing characters can't use super senses or shape change. Oh, thank goodness. Then she got special damage power. Weave a disguise. Shape change. Adjacent standard friendly characters can use shape change. So I want you to understand how good this character is just for that special damage power, giving characters. All of a sudden, she has shape change. She has shape change. She has shape change. And that's just by virtue of being next to Skein. So do with that as you will. I think this is a really good character. It's a shame that she doesn't have a little bit more range for a really cool incapacitate. But something's going to be made of her, and it might not even be a theme team in competitive play. All right. Next up, Citizen V again. This is the Dallas Riordan. Thunderbolts, V Battalion, Police, Politician, and Soldier keywords. Assemble Bolts and Masters trait. Star Spangled Swashbuckler, which gives her leadership and leap and climb. Legacy of the Battalion, charge and sidestep. When Citizen V hits with a close attack after resolutions, remove an action token from any friendly character, including herself, that is adjacent to the hit target. 60 points. This is just a really okay, solid, close combatant. Sealed play is probably going to see her action, or parts of those cool Thunderbolt teams that you can pull off. All right, next up, Steve Rogers, the figure we've all been talking about. Avengers, Howling Commandos, Invaders, Shield and Soldier keywords, assembled Avengers trait. Living Legend trait. Will take all the help we can get if you're worthy. Leadership. During force instruction, you may choose a standard character of 50 points or less. That character loses his printed keywords for the entire game and then gains either the Avengers or Shield keyword. Choose one. He's got both, so it could be part of either of your theme teams. He's 50 points, 2 clicks of Perplex, Shield team ability, Avengers team ability. Now, let's take this down. Perplex. Leadership. Additional character to your theme team. This character is going to mess with people. In addition to which, he's easy to kill. No, he's not. Living Legend. He can hit. He's a competent attacker. He's got Perplex. And he's got the combination of Perplex and Shield team ability always kind of excites me. So overall, I'm really, really okay with the Steve Rogers. I think we're going to see him make some sort of Avengers theme team somewhere. A lot of really cool potential in old man Steve Rogers here. Also, yeah, and he can really there's some stuff we thought of with Sealed if you look at the Sealed video. All right, Captain America, once again, this is Sam Wilson though. Avengers, Shield and Soldier keyword, Avengers, assembled Avengers and the Living Legend traits, special defense power, carrying on Steve's legacy, which he has at the back end of the dial. 75 points with leadership, 6 range with 2 targets. Avengers team ability, look, it's a living legend, and I think that's a part that you have to take into consideration when you consider this guy. Plus, he's got flying, running shot with Indomitable. This is a really good Sealed character. This is a really good Avengers character. Not going down and killing a lot of what's out there in the competitive game yet, but this is really cool Captain America, I think. The special defense gives him super senses, toughness, and gets +2 defense if he moved during your last turn. So when you move with this guy, let's say you made a running shot, now he's got +2 defense when your opponent tries to counterattack. And that is important if you look at the defense values that he has. Oh, all right. We're getting there. We're in the final stretch. All right. So we got Baron Zemo, Massive Evil Pass, Scientist, Soldier keyword. He is unique. He's got the Assembled Bolts and Masters trait. He's got Captain America, my mortal foe. Opposing characters that can use leadership or combat reflexes modify attack -2 when attacking Baron Zemo. Adhesive X, spread across the city and on the heroes. When beginning a move, opposing characters modify speed -1, decrease your breakaway rolls by -1 unless they're occupying, hindering, or water terrain. And then he's got Running Shot, Psychic Blast. This is a 60-point character that fully disrupts your opponent. He's just a big old pain in the booty. With leadership on top of it. Just a really cool effect. There's some potential. If you can make it work, you can make it work. And I think this is going to be one that people may get effective use out of. So I'm going to say yeah. Give him the good old competitive thumbs up, but not necessarily on the team that you're thinking of. Sealed, play him. He's just going to be obnoxious to you. Just do not forget that Adhesive X is there. Do not forget about this trait either. That's going to be the weakness, is forgetting. Do not forget. Next up, another unique, Melter. Hammer Industries, Lethal Legion, Magia, and Masters of Evil trait. keywords. Trait of the assembled bolts and masters. Iron Man, my mortal foe. Opposing characters that can use impervious or invulnerability. Modifier attack -2 when attacking Melter. Special attack power, melted your weapons. Melted your weapons. Penetrating psychic blast. When he hits with it, give a melted token to a hit character. If they don't have one already, for the rest of the game, a character with a melted token modifies damage -1 when making range attacks. 50 points. I know we talked about him on the Metal Lab. I want to like this guy a little bit more. He's like the definition of all right. If push comes to shove, I would put him on a sealed team, or I'll put him on a casual theme team as well. I'm just less likely to put him on a competitive team. Just not a bad character. He's just not exciting. All right, next up. Fixer, Aim, Hydra, Masters of Evil, Shield, Thunderbolts, Scientist, Keyword, Assembled Bolts and Masters Trade, Special Damage Power, Resident Tech Genius, Perplex, Unique Modifier. When Fixer uses it, he may instead choose a single combat value from any other than damage to modify all friendly characters within 4 squares and line of fire. So I got him here. There we go. And then I can say everybody's got their attack perplexed up, and as long as he can see them. So in this case, it would be like here, and here. All these guys will get +1 attack. No complaints there. Yeah, this is just a good character. Sure, yeah. Just good. He's just good. Sealed good, casual good. Some competitive application if you can make it work. All right. Moonstone, Dark Avengers, Femazons, Massive Evil, Thunderbolts, or Celebrity Keyword. She's got a trait that gives it is +5 points, manipulating the team against Zemo. Mind Control. For 5 points, you get Mind Control, but only to target friendly characters of 100 points or less with the Thunderbolts team keyword that aren't impaired Zemo. Assembled Bolts and Masters. Then she's got special movement power, intangible at will. Phasing teleport, free, roll a d6, and 0. Phasing teleport at no cost, but only to move up to half the result. So a 1 to 3 kind of sidestep phase that she might be able to make an attack off of. For 45 points, you're not going to say no, at least not in sealed. I like her. She's okay. She's got some shape chains at the front and back end. She might surprise you. She might just let you down. That sounds like Moonstone, right, guys? All right. Next up, we're in the last couples. We're in the super rares now. Spider-Man Family, Celebrity, Police, and Scientist keyword. Ignores, elevated, hindering, outdoor blocking, characters, this fish. It ignores a lot. He's got Spider Senses as a trait, Super Senses, but succeeds on a 4 to 6, and that is protected from Outwit. Stealth mode or fight mode. At the beginning of your turn, you may turn Spider-Man's dial to the same click number of a different color. If you do, heal him 1 click. Boom. There it is. All right. Taking out Fist's operation, 1 hideout at a time. Now, this is part of his stealth dial, which is sidestep and stealth. Free. Place Spider-Man in a square of hindering terrain within 4 squares and line of fire. So let's just say we're here. We have this click. All right. So I can just, as a free, go here. Because that was hindering. For more visual example, I'm here. I can go here. Cool. And that's a free action with that. Then it's got a special attack power, which is also on the stealth dial. Eat webbing punk, incapacitate as well. That also comes with incapacitate as free. Then he's got a special damage power, which is only on the fight dial. Fight. Free, choose 1, outwit, perplex, close combat expert, or exploit weakness. Spider-Man can use the chosen power until your next turn. It's a 5-click dial at 85 points with the wildcard team ability courtesy of Spooderman, but it is kind of a back and forth dial. So you got to play this out as best you can see it. Obviously, in set, the espionage thing makes it a little bit risky to go with that direction, but I think Spider-Man is pretty okay in general. I like him a lot. There's a lot of potential for him. So put him on the hard maybe. He also ignores your map and my map as long as it's outdoors. All right, next up. Ironheart. Champion, Stark Industries, Armor, and Scientist keyword. Mode shift, Natalie. Ironheart may use her displayed damage powers twice per turn. And then Glue Cannon, Magnet Blast, I'll name it later. When Ironheart hits, after resolution, she may use barrier at no cost, but the first marker must be generated adjacent to a hit character, and the markers may be placed on hindering terrain. And then it's a what you see is what you get, 85-point dial. A shame for the lack of willpower, but I think I can get over it when you consider that she can use probability control twice when she has it, outwit twice when she has it, perplex twice when she has it. And she's got a relatively decent offensive dial. Ironheart's just really, really good. I think Seal Bomb status almost. Just a lot of potential in this character. All right, next up, Mach 10 or Mach-X for all those people who got really angry at me for saying it like that. Massive Evil Thunderbolts and Armor keyword. Ignores hindering for a line of fire. Assemble bolts and masters. Next, upgrading the Mach lineup. Free, choose a standard attack power printed on this card. Mach-X. Mach 10 can use the chosen power this turn. Yeah, I did that to you. There's so many people who just hate me for this right now. 6 range, and then look at the attack powers you can choose from. That includes Precision Strike. If you're on your first click, if Psychic Blast is what you need, it's what you need. Precision Strike is what you need, use it. Incapacitate, sure. Running a little deep in the mid dial. Why not go for some Steel Energy? Also note, if you go past that line to start with the 50 points, why not just go back and get that Psychic Blast anyway on click 1? So I think this is a really cool character that falls under the quote-unquote glass cannon status. Even though, yeah, it's got impervious or invulnerable, one Psychic Blast is going to kind of wreck through his armor. The 50-point dial is only 4 clicks. It's only 6 clicks for 75 points. So this guy can dish it out, but he can't take it as well. Granted, impervious can go a long way if they don't have Psychic Blast, so play the situation as you see it. All right, last and most certainly not least, Thor with his cool Clix effects base. Sorry, I had to kind of shift some stuff around there. Asgardian Avengers, deity, ruler, and warrior keyword. Okay, first trait, bring the lightning. Thor has protected energy explosion. Thor starts the game with the lightning marker attached. When Thor hits with an attack not using energy explosion, you may place a lightning marker in the square of a hit character. If you do, after resolution, make a ranged combat attack using energy explosion at no cost, targeting that character regardless of range or line of fire. At the beginning of your next turn, attach the lightning marker to Thor. The other trait, crackling with electricity. When Thor has a lightning marker attached, he can use energy, shield, deflection, and poison. When Thor has a lightning marker attached, he has Mystic Steam ability, but only for close attacks. Special, defense power that gives him stop, which is on his very last click. You can play him at 125, 75, or 50. The guy's huge. The guy's got stats that a year ago we were calling a 250-point dial. He is indomitable. He flies. He's got 7 range. For 75 points, you get that. That's good for 75. That's good for 50 with the stop click that also has probability control. There's probability control kind of scattered across the thing. He starts with a 10 movement, 12 attack with Psychic Blast off the top. That goes Psychic Blast for 5, and then Energy Explode if you happen to still live through my Psychic Blast. Energy Shield that's included with this, so you start the game strong against range. Thor's just good. Thor will make some noise. Thor will be played. Thor is strong. Love Thor. Let's wrap this up.
All right, guys, and that was our look at our pieces from Captain America and the Avengers. So far, it looked like a pretty good set. Lots of fun stuff. Really bit of a shift in the game for what's going to be good and what's going to be interesting in the future. Really looking forward to throwing these on the constructed table and see what happens. In the meantime, I want to thank WizKids once again for providing us with a brick for us to give you all this wonderful content with. And we hope to see you guys in later videos. See you guys later.